Hallo liebe Leute, herzlich willkommen zurück zu Sean David TV mit einer sehr besonderen Folge. Und zwar haben wir heute eine absolute Legende im Haus, und zwar Michael Dudikoff. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you, Sean.
Michael, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. Now, your German is a little bit rusty, I think.
Yes, very rusty.
You were fluent at one point because you've been here once before, huh?
Right. I was fluent, and now I lost it.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to use this opportunity and talk to you a little bit about your career, how you got into acting and everything, and also put a lot of emphasis on the American Ninja movies because they are, and every one of my fans knows, I'm the biggest sucker for those films. And to sit next to you is actually a childhood dream come true. Now, the one thing that I always wanted to know, and there are so many different stories that you find on the internet, and maybe you can clear this up. Now, how did you start acting? Like, did you take acting classes? Did you study in college? Like, how did you slide into the industry?
Good question.
Thank you.
40 years ago. Okay, let me see. You know, I started out modeling. Okay, I did GQ magazine. I was in Milan. In New York. Did a lot of magazine work. And then after that, I started doing commercials because I was getting so many things through modeling.
Yeah.
It's like every interview I was going up, every audition for modeling, I was getting it. And, I was that blonde, all-American kind of guy,
Yes.
And so I just looked like the blonde American surfer guy.
Yes.
And so I was at the right time, right place, right time. And so I was working a lot. And then the agency, I was with Mary Webb Davis at the time, and they realized this guy is hot. He's getting everything. So United Artists was also right next door to Mary Webb Davis
and
on Los Angeles Boulevard. And they said, we'd like this Michael Dudikoff guy. So I went over to them, signed with them, and my very first commercial was Flash 'em your copper tone tan. All I had to do really is go to the interview, take off my shirt, and flash my copper tone tan, and that was a national commercial, and I got it. And so right off the top, I got it. I was really excited.
Right off the top?
Yeah, just right. Yeah.
Okay,
no pun intended.
Yeah.
And no, it was so great that I got that, because then I was on another role. I did Stridex. I did Army Reserve. I just did a lot of different commercials. But that's how I started. And I've been playing, a comedy. It's been comedy. Played in Bachelor Party. I played Tom Hanks's best buddy, and that was a lot of fun. Playing Ryko, not a smart guy, waiter, and he's just not a smart guy. And same with Dougie. I played a star of the family. That was another show with Brian Dennehy, he's a great, unbelievable actor.
Weren't you also in Tron?
I was in Tron. I did a small part in there, and
that's awesome.
If you blink, you'll miss me. And
yeah, because I've read your name on the credits, but I've never seen you. Like, do you remember where you were, or haven't you seen that film in 30 plus years?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did a lot of comedy. It was so much fun. So I knew that, okay, I've got to really be prepared and really do this whole new thing here. So I started studying 7 days a week with 3 different coaches, but I studied hard and really enjoyed learning. Just learning how to be that focused and on and in the moment.
Well, talking about being focused, now there was one movie opportunity that would help to put your movie career in a different direction. Michael Dudikoff, the action star. Talking about Joe Armstrong and the American Ninja film. Now, you had experience with working on a Canon movie before. I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that you were also somehow on screen in Enter the Ninja. Is that right? That you were running around there or working there or something, but you have done something with Canon Films before you?
No, you
Okay.
are wrong, Sean.
Wonderful. Then we
Wrong.
can, because that is a rumor that has been on the internet forever, that you were having a minor part in Enter the Ninja. And I'm a huge ninja geek. I always thought like, no, I would have seen him. So. And now also the Sam Furstenberg saying that, oh, when we saw Michael Dudikoff, we knew that he was Joe Armstrong. Now that story also makes more sense. So American Ninja was your first Canon film.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you can recall from that audition?
Oh my gosh, yes. I can recall. What I can recall is that audition was it was incredibly intense. And I was very nervous, thinking, "Oh my gosh, these guys are doing backflips and, spinning heel kicks." And I mean, I wasn't that guy. I'm not going to do any flips and do all this stuff. And so what I did is, I remember I got off. I rode my motorcycle. My car had a problem, so I rode a motorcycle. I had a bike at the time, a Harley Davidson bike. So I rode that. And
of course you had.
Well, it's
the good looking guy, already blessed with that look, and then of course you ride your motorbike. Okay.
All American, right?
Yeah, all American.
All
yes,
American,
gotcha.
And I rode it, and I remember just wearing I had cowboy boots, and I had my jeans and just a white T-shirt, And I remember pulling up, and there's a huge gymnasium, and out of every orifice of that gym, there was lines that are going around the block. I mean, and I happened to park right at this one doorway where all these people were, all these guys, and I walked up past a lot of the guys, walked all the way over, and I squished my way in through the door and looked around, looking at everything, and I'm, oh my gosh, look at these guys. Look at that guy doing flips. What's that guy doing? Hanging from a rope and climbing a rope. And I mean, it was just, there must have been 500 people in that gymnasium.
All auditioning for that movie?
All auditioning,
oh,
yeah,
crazy.
auditioning to this. And I looked at everything and I decided, you know what, I think I'm going to exit. So
really,
and yeah, there was all these cameras too, and people filming and directing, and it was spectacular. I just thought, oh, this is going to be.
But that sounds big for Canon Film. That sounds like really putting an effort in finding Joe Armstrong.
Oh yeah, and and the more I thought about it, it's like, wow, this is really a privilege to even go up on this thing. But this is not me, and maybe I need to pull over, get on my bike, pull over under a shady tree and call my agent and say, you know what? But I walked out, and as soon as I walked out, somebody was tapping me on the shoulder. And I turned around, and it was Mike Stone.
Oh, yes.
Mike Stone, and at the time I didn't know who he was. He says, where are you going? And I said, oh, I was thinking about I was going to leave, tell you the truth. And he goes, no, come on in, follow me. So he just walked away really quick and said that. So I had no time to talk about it or anything. I just followed him in.
He tapped your shoulder before you auditioned?
Yes.
So he picked you out of the crowd?
He saw me when I came into the doorway in front of all those guys at that doorway. He happened to be, I just happened to walk right where he was teaching somebody how to do what he wanted them to do. I remember throwing the shuriken. He was telling the guy to throw a shuriken and do all these kicks, and he hit the heavy bag and do a roll and then do a back roll and come up and all this stuff. And so I left, but so the same guy is pulling me in. So I thought, okay, I saw that guy directing that other guy, so I guess he's going to direct me. And we go back in, and he says, so, you know what we're doing, right? Did you see what we were doing? Well, I kind of did see something. You were directing the guy, and then I left. And he goes, why'd you leave? And I said, well, I'm not really a martial artist, I mean, these guys are doing flips and roundhouse kicks and heel kicks, and I'm not that guy. He goes, we'll see. This is what I want you to do. And so all of a sudden he tells me what to do, and I said, could you show me that? Could you just show me how to do that? Just do what you just did again. So he said, sure. He did it again, and I go, do it one more time, and I'll do it. He looks at me kind of, okay. So he does it again. And he goes, okay, here's the shuriken. I went, I did what he wanted me to do. And he goes, I thought you said that you couldn't do it. And I said, well, I didn't say I couldn't do it. I just said, anyway. He goes, well, you did a good job. He goes, you did a good job. And I said, thanks. Next thing you know, I'm driving home. And my agent said, would you like me to tell you, you got they want to see you now do the acting part. They liked you a lot, but want to see you now do the acting part.
So the first thing was just martial arts and athletics, and now we get to actually acting.
Yes.
Oh, it would have been better. Originally, it would have been better for you if it was vice versa, so you could show your sweet spots first.
Yes,
and
see, I was an athlete, so just show me what you want, and I was an athlete, so I'd be able to do everything.
Yes,
as long as I memorized it really quick. That's why I had him do it a couple times, and so I did it a couple times, and the rest is history.
No big deal.
Yeah. I was really happy that happened, but the thing that was strange though is here. I was doing comedy, and to step into this, I was excited to do it. Okay, first of all, because it was something totally different. This is a guy, here I was playing Ryko and Dougie, and I was like, these kind of guys, kind of dumb. And, really? I don't, what? Okay, just totally different.
Over the top, and
yeah. And so all of a sudden, I'm going to be playing a guy who is just a killer.
Yeah.
He's an assassin. And he's calm. And he just will look right through you. And you just, for me, I was developing the character the night before, because I had to read the script and everything to be able to go in and even to go in. So as I read it, I'd pay 5 pages, 10 pages. I would be layering the character already, just the isms, the way he would walk, the way he would talk, the way he would do this, the way he would do that, and I was envisioning all of how I would do each scene. So that took a lot of work. I didn't go to bed till really late, and I had an early morning call. But I did it, and so when I went in there, I didn't go in for this interview, the second part with the acting part, with knowing that I'm a karate guy and I have to be really good in the martial arts. I went in as the character that day when I even
did
the shuriken thing with Mike Stone. Called me. I did my homework as I saw the character, and believe me, the character was really hard for me to do because I could not be wide-eyed. I couldn't do anything like that. He was calm, and he was just cool.
So you're saying the character that you brought into the second part of the audition is actually what we later saw in the movie. Your interpretation of Joe Armstrong is what actually became the Joe Armstrong. Yes,
and a lot of people would say, how could that guy do that movie? He's not even a black belt in martial arts, and the thing is, it wasn't about the being a great martial artist as it was me. They knew that they could work with me because I was an athlete and I can throw kicks, because I did it. I had to kick a bag and do these things, and so a lot of guys will even, they'll ask me, are you a black belt? Why did you do that? Because you got American Ninja over a lot of people. And I go, no, I'm not really a black belt. I mean, I watched a lot of Bruce Lee movies like everyone else does, and, we train, we go to karate class a couple times in our lives. And and you learn a lot, through that. But honestly, I just hid behind Joe Armstrong, the character that I put together, that I designed this guy a certain way. I developed him a certain way. He had to walk and talk. Everything was different. Everything I've ever played before in my life has never been that difficult. But I learned from doing American Ninja and going into that character for the rest of my life of doing other movies, playing a psychopathic killer with Susan Lucci, to Marley Matlin and I doing a movie. I hid behind characters. It was the I would develop the character and then do the movie. And I'd really eat, sleep, drink that character, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. That's what makes it fun for me.
I want to rewind it back just a little bit. The fact that you were not a real martial artist. I remember I don't want to say as a child, because it was easy to fool me as a child because you watch a movie in a totally different light. But as a young adult, when I had seen the Van Dammes, the Bruce Lees, all of them, I did not realize that you were not a true martial artist. And the fact that, and yes, of course it makes sense, but not every athlete can look like they 100% know what they're doing. And you did it in such a great way. And I'm not only talking about the sequences where there's a ninja suit and sometimes Steve Lambert is in the suit. I'm talking when we completely see you, and you had some kicks in the first film, your body movement and everything. It looked 100% real. And when I then read somewhere on the internet in 2005 or so, he didn't have any martial arts background, I could not believe it. For me, it could not be true. How? I saw what the guy was doing. How could he?
Sean, you're so kind.
No, but it's true.
It's
true. And look, I'm a semi-professional basketball player, so I'm also an athlete. I would never, ever be able to make people believe that I know how to do martial arts. Never.
Oh.
Can we kiss?
Oh, man. Thank you so much. You know what? That's so special that you just... I really thank you for that. What a great compliment coming from you, Anna. And I'll tell you, what's really great for me too is through all this time doing all these movies and everything and meeting all these black belts, a lot of the black belts will come up to me and say, you know what, I wouldn't even have my own dojo or my own academy if I didn't see you made me want to be a martial artist.
Yes.
Just by watching you.
Yes.
Joe Armstrong was so cool.
Yes.
And that makes me feel so good. I mean, that just to know that all that hard work that I put into it, I worked so hard, and to know that these guys that are black belts like me enough to even get their own academy, dojos, I mean, and complimented me. If I didn't see you, I mean, you made me.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
Man.
It makes it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel
yeah, of course. I mean, 40 years later, you're sitting.
The job I wanted to do.
Yes, and 40 years later, you're sitting in a foreign country on a foreign continent.
Yeah.
Shortly before hundreds of fans are sitting in a theater to see your film, to see you. 40 years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told you before that the ass kissing has to stop before we go on air, and I think I've done it enough for one episode.
Well, I'll tell you, all this going on from the beginning, and just my family and everything. I mean, anything more than this would just I don't know. I think it's just a gift. Everything that I've been through, I'm just a really fortunate guy to have come this far. Anything more is a gift.
You're getting teary.
No.
Michael.
I'm not kidding you. I've worked really hard.
Yes.
And it's so nice to find, not only be accomplished in so many ways in my acting that but just friends and my family, my wife, my kids. I just want them to have, when opportunity knocks on his door, I just hope that he knows how to handle that. I want him to be successful. He wants to be an engineer, applied mathematics, my daughter. Who knows where that's going to take them, but I just want them to have that opportunity to just and know that you've got to really work hard. You got to work hard, and you got to motivate yourself, and you have to make sure that your schedule, to stay on track, stay in your own lane, and stay on track, and you'll be good. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. They're in college right now. I moved them in dorms right before I flew out here. So God bless them. God bless us. God bless America.
And the rest of the world. That's what you Americans you should say. God bless America and the others too. But that's
others too.
Yeah, that's a different story.
And we'll talk about that.
Yes.
On another show.
Yes. There's one person that I also want to talk about, and you and I, we talked about him yesterday at dinner, Steve James. I had a show 2 weeks ago where I discussed my personal biggest what ifs in movie history, and it was called most underrated actors, and I placed Steve James on my list. He was actually the first person that I gave a shout out to, because I felt if he would have gotten the right opportunity, and if he would have lived a longer life, I think he could have become a superstar, not only because of his working attitude, but he had it. He could have been Wesley Snipes or whatever. He really had it. You're right. Give me a fist pump on that one. Steve James, when I first met him, I knew it was going to be great, because the guy, as soon as you look at him, you're going, oh my gosh, this guy was in shape, and I knew that if I'm going to do this movie, I know I had to get in shape, but what a partner I'm going to have to get in shape with, and when I met him, he was just so kind and so respectful. I knew that this is going to be fun. Steve was just, we'd work out together, we'd lift weights. I didn't lift the kind of weights he lifted, but I lifted weights, we worked out together, we ate together, we talked and had great talks. He was like a brother, and as a matter of fact, he would always go, there's my brother from another mother. He would say that to me, and we just hug each other all the time. He just really, I felt like he was a brother from another mother, and I really miss him. He's a great guy, very talented, and I feel you're right. And given a little more time, that guy would have been the next Wesley Snipes. I'm serious. He was talented, and he took a lot of chances. There was times in the movie where he would come out, with his shirt off, and I go, "What, Steve? You need what we just had on. I've got to wear what I'm wearing, and you got to put that shirt back on." He goes, "Brother, you work as hard as I do on my body, and the diet that I do, and the weights that I lift. This is a scene. I want to show it." And I applauded him. I said, "You know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. How about you, script supervisor?" She said, "So, whatever he wants to do." If you look back in hindsight, how many movies do you know where you have two young up-and-coming actors, both beautiful, good-looking, a white guy, a black guy, both real high-potential guys, both with unique talent, unique skill set, and you have them together as a duo in a film, and the chemistry is still there. Being talented doesn't always mean that you get along on set and that the combination works. Oh, isn't that the truth? Yeah? Yeah. But having you two working on two movies together. On the second film, I know you haven't seen it in a while, but on the second film, it really felt like what you just said, like brother from another mother. You could feel it. It felt like these guys know each other since childhood.
Yeah, yes. That and that's. If you saw the second one too, you see that I became a little more communicative.
That was on purpose, right?
Yes.
Oh, I felt it. I thought, okay, that is the logical development of the character. He has to be more open now, growing with time. Oh, yes. And good to know.
And Steve was he was just a great guy to work with on every. I could have done many more movies with Steve.
Yes.
And I wish that would have happened. And it would have happened because that's what Cannon really wanted at one time too, to have us both working many movies. I mean, Avenging Force we worked on it too. And, there would be times when Steve would go, Michael, I don't know how to ride the motorcycle, in American Ninja, when we were doing American Ninja. He says, I can't ride a motorcycle. I go, why didn't you say something a long time ago? He goes, I know, I just didn't want to say I can't do it. I go, well, we found out. I mean, they didn't find out because the swimming thing when we had to jump off the rock.
Yes.
He goes, dude, I can't swim.
Yeah, he couldn't swim.
And he said that to me on top of the rock. I go, we're filming. They're down in the boat, and we have to jump off this thing and land near the boat. Dude, and you can't swim? I go, okay, changing spots. You're going to jump first. And no, better yet, no, you jump first, then I'm going to jump in and get you and make sure you come up. He goes, perfect. He goes, I go, just really jump away from the boat. Jump, look at where we're at right now.
Yeah, try not to hit the rocks if possible.
Yeah. And so he jumped, and I jumped right in right after him, and I'm feeling him under, you go pretty far down, and I'm feeling this. He was solid. He would sink. And I pulled him up and pushed him up and kept pushing him up. He came up and cut, and that was that. But, he did it, and nobody even knew. I didn't say anything.
The crazy thing.
The only thing that we did say is they had to push him in on the motorcycle. And then they put sound in later. But they pushed
You are
him in.
kidding me.
No,
they were actually pushing him.
They pushed him. Gave him a little,
no, he looks so cool on the motorcycle.
He is always cool. Steve James is the most coolest dude in the world.
Oh, you just ruined it for me, man.
No, dude, but this guy could do so many things. But there was two things, the swimming and, dude, I didn't learn how to ride a motorcycle. I go, it's okay. We'll figure it out. They're just going to push you in. So I went and talked to him. We pushed him in. And he just rolls right in, and then kind of braked a little bit hard. You gotta.
Michael, you really ruined that for me. And now every time I see the movie, I have to imagine, okay, there's some dude pushing my hero.
No, but you can look at all the other stuff the guy does. I mean, that guy is just ripped and wanting to be the best action star in the world. And you know what? I really commend him for all. He worked so hard, and he was so good with fans. That's another thing I want to say is that I have the best fans. I really do. Really, coming here, I've had people stop me on the streets and hey, Michael Dudikoff, and then they want to take a picture. Even the police, 3 police officers yesterday came out, and I took pictures with them. And they're just, it's at my age right now, at my age, having all this, these are just, there's so many gifts. I'm getting all these gifts of just things that I love, just people. I love people. I love talking to people. I enjoy being around people, good, honest people, and having good conversations. And you.
Yeah, and me too. Great. I can't believe you took a picture with the police. I got to charge them some money. You got to tell me later on what they look like.
Yeah.
I have a few more questions, Michael.
Yeah.
So, now I have Sam Furstenberg here. I've been friendly with Sam for a couple of years, and I actually love him as a director because I thought that with all the ninja movies around, and there were many, I think the ones that Sam Furstenberg shot were the best. And I also, for me personally, I also say that the first American Ninja film, even though I love the second, to me, objectively speaking, the first American Ninja is a really, really, really good action movie. Even if you're not a Ninja fanboy, it's a really good action film. And you can see that Sam really knew what he was doing. I wanted to know from you, what was it like working with Sam? Because I feel outside of the canon bubble, he's not getting the respect that he deserves. Sometimes people forget that he always had to work with limited budget, and that is more difficult to make a good movie. What was it like for you working with Sam? Good. Next. Okay.
Let me tell you, Sam Furstenberg, he's joy.
Yes.
He's joy. He's happy. He sings. And he's prepared. He taught me, I never told Shmulik, that's another name I call him, Shmulik. I've never told him how I appreciated him, because he was always there, so motivated, so happy, and so prepared. And he would come up to you and just go, "This is what we're going to do, Michael. We're going to blah, 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 blah. And we're going to have squibs, and you're going to run through the squibs. Just know that there's a squib going off here, squib going off here, here. Know where your squibs are, and we'll time it, okay? Mm-hmm. But we're going to do practice." And the bottom line is, he was always so motivated to just come to work, sing, and be prepared. And you can just tell he loved to direct. And the rest is history. Anyone would love to work with Sam Furstenberg, because he's so prepared. Mm. I don't care what you give him, because like you just said, there's so many. The budget, we don't have it for this. We can't do that. We can't. I mean, and this guy would just go, okay, next, okay, we can't have that. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And he would know exactly, because he's already prepared, even knowing that we're not going to possibly get that camera or get that location. And that's what I loved about him, too. He was. I didn't have to wait there going, okay, I'm going to go to my dressing room for a couple hours until they figure this out. No, Sam figured it out, because he was looking way ahead. You know, he prepared himself for Canon's little ways. Because Canon, man, they would tell you, okay, you're $5 million, $6 million, and all of a sudden, no, it's just a 2. You know, all of a sudden you go, what? What happened to this? What happened to that? You know, that's just the way it was. And we had to just make it work. And that's why even all the people that he prepared, you know, and talked his whole crew, everybody just worked really well together. No egos. And when there was, that was very seldom. But when you got somebody who was just really egotistical and just was harder to work with, you just kind of accepted this is the way this person's going to be, and you move on. You know, you there's no time for that. These movies are shot so fast. There's one take. You're lucky to get 2 takes. You're lucky to get 2 takes. And you got to keep going and going and going. And it's one thing after another. And it's first unit, second unit, third unit. You know, okay, get out of that one. We're going to shoot this one now. Okay, you got to get the blood out and then put this on and go to the next. And it was just going and going. By the time I got home, I was exhausted.
Well, you guys at least had a second and third unit. That's something that I'm dreaming of, but that's a different story.
Well, again, just to end it, Shmulik, Sam Furstenberg, a dream to work with.
Nice that you're giving Sam his flowers. I think that I will send him that. You weren't in American Ninja 3.
I tell him to his face too. He's just so. He really is a good guy.
He is, and he still does a lot to keep the legacy alive, which I really appreciate. Traveling around the world, going to screenings, talking to fans. So he is really, truly a good guy. Now, you weren't in American Ninja 3. I remember, American Ninja 1 and 2, they ran on television all the time. And when I was 10 years old, am not supposed to watch any of those ninja films. I told my mother, can you please go to the video store and see if there's an American Ninja 3? And she came back with American Ninja 3, and I was so excited. And who the F is that? That's not Joe Armstrong. So I was in shock. Talking now about David Bradley, the movie that was directed by Cedric Sundstrom. And David did a great job. Obviously, big shoes to fill. But I read on the internet the reason why you weren't in the movie was because you had issues with shooting in South Africa, apartheid. Is that correct? Was that the reason why you dropped out? Or what was the true story why you didn't do the movie?
I was doing other films.
Okay.
And, you know,
good that I'm asking.
I was doing, you know, Canon forgets, I mean, they were having me do so many different films. And I'd start this and stop that and start another. And it was just, being with Canon was the greatest thing for me as an actor because you never knew what you were going to be doing. And I think that just in and of itself is it's raw. It's you're going in and you just got to accept what's going to happen and do. There's no we're going to start at and plus I'm sorry, but you got to we're not starting at the beginning of the movie. We're starting at the end. So if you didn't do your homework and you're starting at the last page where it's the end, you better know where you're going.
Yes.
You got to do all that work and know where you're going. So that's another thing I always had to be prepared for. Is Canon going to pull one of these?
Yes.
Which they did many times. But again,
good school to learn your craft, huh?
Oh, man.
Be prepared for everything.
Yes, be prepared for all of it, and that's why it was so great with Paramount and with Gary Marshall, Gary Nardino, and just Bobby Hoffman and just Jerry Paris. I mean, I can name names. I've just been blessed by being just doing everything that I've done. I'll repeat myself all the time. I'm just lucky, very, very fortunate to have gotten to this point and learn all the things I've learned. And I get to then teach my kids. You know.
But weren't you, like, when did they break to you, like, hey, we're going to shoot an American Ninja 3. Oh, by the way, you got something else to do. You can't be in that movie, or we cast somebody else. Didn't it make you feel a certain way, or do you think, hey, I had my 2 movies all fine? Like, what did it do to you feeling-wise?
Well, you know, of course, you know, you started off on that whole American Ninja, being the American Ninja. You want to be able to do every American Ninja that's out there and be the lead and do the best job and see the growth, you know, that your character's growing and that the script is actually growing as well, and a good script, good director, budget. You want all that, right? But a lot of times it just doesn't happen. It didn't happen with Canon.
Yeah, smaller. That's the thing with Canon, where other production companies get bigger with the sequels, and budget-wise, Canon always went smaller and smaller and smaller. It's so hard to make a good film when you hardly have any money, man.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, Menachem Golan, God bless him and Yoram Globus, they just wanted to do movie after movie after. I mean, they eat, sleep, drink, go to bed just dreaming about movie. And sometimes they're making movie deals on napkins at lunches, you know, and to love it that much all the way to the end of Menachem Golan just wanted to do, what was it, Alan Quartermain?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you tell that? Oh, for those of you who don't know, there's a documentary out there. It's a BBC documentary. I think it's from 2014 or somewhere around that, where Menachem Golan was basically passing away during the process of the film making. And he was talking about that he had a script of Alan Quartermain Part 3. And originally he wanted Richard Chamberlain to play the role, but he was too old for the role. And Michael told me something yesterday.
Yeah, Menachem came to visit me and he said, "I'm going to meet you." Blah blah. He called me. "I want to meet you here. I want to talk to you. It's really important." And I already knew that he was sick, and wow, he's calling me, and I got to be there. So I went. We met. I bought lunch, and we talked, and it just never. He wanted me for that role, and but it was too late because he didn't have all his ducks in order, and wanted it really bad all the way up to the day he passes on.
Yes.
And I wish I could have done that for him, you know, and it could have worked out, but it just didn't. But hey, look at all the success they've had.
Incredible.
Going to Cannes Film Festival and just having books this thick. I mean, huge books. And all of a sudden I'm realizing, look, I'm doing that movie. I'm doing this movie. I'm doing that movie. And they pushed the envelope. They just kept going and going and going. If people say, "Oh, you got so-and-so to do that?" Yes, I got so-and-so. Yep, he's going to do it. I got so-and-so too, and I got so-and-so.
Oh, a good Menachem imitation. Wow, not bad, man. All right.
He was so fun. But he always, even if he didn't have you, he'd say, "I know, I have Michael Dudikoff going to do this movie. Michael Dudikoff. Yes, the stock of money, you know, whatever." And that's probably a terrible Menachem.
Oh, I think it was very good.
It was so great working with them. I really learned and grew so much. And we would have lunches together at Canon, you know, right on San Vicente. They would call me and have lunches with me. And it was just neat and just talk with them. And I was supposed to do a Charlie Bronson movie too, and before that happened, it was timing.
So cool.
There's a lot of things in this business that it's timing. You know, for me to even be here, it was timing. Everything's timing. Everything is you've got to be ready for opportunities. You know, when they present themselves, to just go and make sure that you're going to be prepared.
When you're talking about timing, and that's the last question I'm going to ask you. American Ninja 6. There were some rumors a long time ago that there will be potentially another American Ninja film. And I found a clip on YouTube where you were asked about, are you going to do another American Ninja film? You said, yeah, we're working on it. And I was super excited. And unfortunately, it did not happen. Now, what many people don't know is that depending on what company owns the rights for a franchise, it can be really difficult to make a film with the original title. And I think that was something that happened why you guys...
Well, it's all about rights. You know?
Yes.
If you have a hard time finding the rights, you're not going to be able to make it. Would I have loved to have done that? Yeah, I would. And I tried to excite my fans and let them know that, you know, without saying, but I want 6, and we'll see, you know, wink, wink. But it's just you just don't know where the rights are and how to get the rights and how much they want.
It would have been such a beautiful...
Really knowing where, I didn't know.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, so.
It would have been a beautiful treat for the fans. And I also think that... Oh, I'm not sure if you know that, but do you know that there is an American Ninja 5 movie? Are you aware of that?
No.
I knew it that you don't know that. There is American Ninja 5 with David Bradley called Joe in the movie. And what they did was... It was a martial arts movie that was so terrible that the production company had no idea how they're going to sell the film, and they basically got the license to use the name in hopes of people buying the movie. As a fan, it was so confusing. Why is David Bradley now called Joe? Doesn't make any sense. And I knew that you didn't know that. Yeah. So it would be nice to have a part 6 where you get your what you deserve, a proper ending, respectful ending.
Sean, that's terrible. Wow, I didn't know that. And, that kind of messes up, in a way, the whole ninja.
That's why we needed 6. That's why we needed.
Yeah.
Would you still do it? If for whatever reason somebody with $2 billion would come and say, "Hey,
$2 billion, you said?"
Yeah, $2 billion, exactly. The special effects that you need for all the crazy stunts.
Gosh, yeah.
No, but if
the budget of Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if somebody would have the right situation in order and they would say, "Hey, Michael, we would like to do American Ninja 6. We have everything in place. We would figure out how you could still pull it off. Would you at least consider it, thinking about it?"
Yes, and the reason why I would consider it is it would have to be the right producers, the right budget, the right script. That's got to be really ironed out. So that's because Joe is complicated, believe it or not. Joe's not just a guy that's going to say some, stupid lines.
Yeah.
He's different.
Yeah, he is.
He walks different. He acts different. He's, he had a concussion, man. The guy's not even normal. He's different.
And his main job is killing ninjas. I mean, who does that?
That's exactly right.
No, but you're right. But hey, you never know what happens in life. Maybe anybody who's important in the industry, come on, guys, man. I'm doing my part. You guys get your shit together. I want this movie to happen, man. Mr. Michael Dudikoff, it was an honor, a pleasure to have you here. And if you would have told me 35 years ago that I would be sitting here talking to you about all those movies and going through with you through your career, I never would have believed you. So it was an honor, a pleasure. Thank you very much. Yeah. Can't wait to show you to the fans tomorrow, to make a lot of people happy. And from a fan to you, thanks for not only being a part of my childhood, but thank you very much for all the joy you gave me in my life. I told you yesterday, American Ninja, I've never seen a movie as often as that one. So I owe many hours of joy to you.
And I owe you millions and millions of thanks. That's nice
true,
of
yes.
you. And I know how hard you work. And I know that you like to make people happy. You're a good guy.
Thank you.
And I think it's the fans got to know how great this guy is. Okay, he's a winner. A chicken dinner. I'll take him.
You said wiener or winner?
Winner.
Okay, I take both. So for you guys, if you want to know what Michael has been going on, check out his Facebook page or on Instagram so you can see if he has any new projects. You can also see a lot of the personal stuff that he does. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. We were actually talking in front of a live audience, 2 people. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, congrats. And hopefully see you next time on Sean David TV.